got my blood tested or retested. I had the HCG test on Friday and I just got it retested today on Monday to make sure that my levels of HCG are going down, to ensure that I had a miscarriage. It's literally the last appointment I think anyone wants to make, is to make sure that they lost the baby well. And so I called this morning and they said they didn't have an appointment booked for me. They didn't have an order or anything. I'm like, that's impossible, because I was told I did, and the whole point is to make sure that the levels are going down, so I need one, and I'm going out of town. So that was just frustrating, because like the last thing you want to do is go to the appointment, and then to make things worse, they don't have the appointment. So now you're stressing out about an appointment that you don't even want to go to in the first place. But I finally they got it all figured out, and I got it done. I'm on my way to work now, and I'm assuming in a couple of hours I'll see the number go down, and it will be the last piece of my 99.5% like thinking that I'm not pregnant will then be 100. Like, you know, there's that still 0.5, a rare case or something stupid. But hopefully I just know today. I just want to be done. Going in to my ultrasound on Tuesday, I went with my mom. Tyler was out of town, so that was hard. And so I was just keeping Tyler informed about everything that was going on. Moments before I walked into my ultrasound, I had that like 1% hope that it was viable, and it's just my body was doing weird things, and I didn't have a miscarriage. It wasn't ectopic. My mom and I actually told ourselves that we were just going to rule out ectopic altogether, because it's so rare. Only 1 to 2% of all pregnancies have it, less than 200,000 a year. And so I just assumed it was a miscarriage, but that 1%. All right, I gotta make this quick. I am on my way to my appointment. The HCG numbers rose, but they rose slowly, and so I'm getting an ultrasound to see if it's ectopic, still residual stuff left in from a miscarriage or a viable pregnancy. I have no idea what's going to happen. So we get to the ultrasound room, and I am laying there, and all of a sudden, like, they pull up my uterus and my body on the TV, and all of a sudden I just know. I don't know anything about what the uterus looks like, what an ultrasound looks like, but just based on what I saw, I'm like, there's literally no baby in there. And so you can see her say that, yep, the uterus is thin. It looks like it never even prepared itself to have a baby, to house a baby. And then they went up to my ovaries, and that's when they noticed a mass next to my ovary, which she said looked suspicious, and could kind of basically say it's ectopic.
Who'd you bring with you today?
This is my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
You had more bleeding yesterday?
It was very light, if much at all. It just felt like the last little bit of anything. So
Have you had some heavy bleeding and passing tissue?
on Monday of last week,
Monday of last
yes,
week. Okay.
it all kind of started bleeding and bleeding clots and things like that, and then Tuesday was still a little heavier, and then after that it just slowly went down, and then yesterday seemed to be like the last of the bleeding. So
Well, let's take a look and see what we see. I think what's going to give us the most amount of information will actually be repeating a hormone level at some point.
okay.
So, but we'll look and see what we see. We want to make sure we don't have an ectopic or something like that.
Okay.
So what I see, the lining looks fairly thin and uniform at this point.
Well, my mom and I ruled out ectopic, and that's what it was. So we went out to lunch, and we had to decide now between, do I take a chemotherapy drug called methotrexate to stop the cells from rapidly dividing, or do I get surgery where they will kind of carve the mass out if possible, but since 99% of the time it resides in the fallopian tube, if they do the surgery, you're going to lose that tube 99% of the time. With methotrexate, with this chemotherapy drug, I still have the chance that if it grows bigger or if it just bursts, I would still have to go to the ER and have surgery. And I'm still going to be at risk until my HCG level is at a complete 0 and is undetected in my body. If I have surgery, yeah, they can get the mass out. I'll lose my fallopian tube almost 99% of the time I will lose my fallopian tube. It's a 99% chance. And there could be a possibility where they didn't get absolutely everything and I would still have to go on the drug. So my mom and I are trying to figure out what is going to be the best way. If I had a miscarriage, it was a miscarriage, I could be done and then move on and try again in a month or 2 months. With this, I learned that it is a multiple week recovery as well as a multiple month waiting time if you do take the chemotherapy drug before you can even get pregnant again. We couldn't start right away. So every bit of information I got was just boom, knockdown, boom, knockdown, boom, knockdown. And there was no good news. It was just a constant, okay, you're going to be in limbo. Choose what you want to do, chemotherapy or surgery, limbo. Recovery time, limbo. Will you burst? I don't know, limbo. And so it's just frustrating. Just like all you want to hear is good news.
Whipping my pants off, or just
You can pull them down just a
down
little
to
bit.
just under your butt cheeks, probably.
Yeah, it's upper outer. So, oh, you don't even have to go down that far.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we don't need
Yeah,
it.
that good?
We're actually going like
Up there.
up in here, yeah. We cut your butt cheeks in 4.
Awesome.
Sorry, Nancy, we're going.
No, it's all
We'll
good.
try to do this together, so it's the same. I'm actually gonna go move these down. I'll feel it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll help you up in just a second. Yep, I double checked with Jonny. Yeah.
Thank goodness Tyler was able to come home that night and he took me to the next appointment, which was the next day where I got the chemotherapy drug. I got it shot in each butt cheek and it felt fine going in, but then once I stood up, it felt like I got stung by a bee. It was a very strange feeling. It was the weirdest feeling ever, but after a couple of minutes, it went away. Now we're here. The week that I got the methotrexate, I wasn't able to work. I had to stay at home. And even to today, I have to be monitored 24/7. I can't be left alone because until my HCG is at 0, this could potentially burst and it could cause internal bleeding, which could cause me to feel dizzy, to pass out. And I would need someone to rush me to the ER right away because I would then need surgery to get it removed and fixed. The last 3 weeks, it's been nice being driven to work, but I also have no freedom to go and wherever I please, whenever I want, because I need someone to come with me. And it's been a very interesting experience, and I just remember telling myself when I first found out I was pregnant, okay, don't get too excited because you know the chances of miscarriage. Don't get too excited in case it happens. And each day passed, I would wake up, every time I went to the bathroom, I was scared to wipe because I thought I would start bleeding and that would be my period or I would have a miscarriage. And so as each day passed, I was nervous, but also I got a little bit more excited. And I felt like I was finally at a point where a couple of my siblings knew, my parents knew, we were able to talk about it freely in the house, and I just started getting excited. And I'm like, this is it, our lives are about to change. And then when it happened, everything just came crashing down. I started thinking about the future, and now I'm thinking about the next time I get pregnant, how scary it's gonna be. Am I gonna wait to tell people? Am I gonna tell people right away? And so I can have that support, because I'm telling you, the support that I've had because I told people has been amazing. My close friends, my parents, and Tyler's family, I am so glad I told them early. I wasn't able to talk about how I was feeling, what I was going through, and it has helped tremendously. I'm sitting here today, October 30th. It hasn't even been a month since this has happened. I wasn't going to share anything, and quite coincidental enough, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. How fitting, right? And so I decided, I had seen so many women post about having a miscarriage, and I was just in shock, like, oh, I know it happens a lot, but it really happens a lot. And so I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I posted it, and I think finally putting it out there, I don't feel like I'm keeping it to myself anymore. I felt like I had to act a certain way to put on a certain persona because I was hiding this, and now it is out and I can be vocal about it, I can share about it, and that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm posting this. I remember laying in my bed, clutching my stomach, frantically searching for YouTube videos to give me answers. Am I having a miscarriage? What's an ectopic? And there was nothing out there, and I just felt so lost, and I want to be able to share my experience, my story. I don't know if it'll help, but I know that me getting it out there will put some more awareness on the topic. I currently just feel very flat, and whatever. I know since posting it on Facebook and just receiving those messages and Instagram and texts, the emotions came up a little bit again. I think me and Tyler are at a point where we accepted that it happened, and we just want to start moving forward, not moving on, because it's not something you can move on from, but moving forward, and we will try again when we're ready, when we can, and I'm just ready to get this recovery stuff over with. I'm over it. I'm just really frustrated and annoyed by it. So my numbers have gone down. After the methotrexate, they went from 2,000 to 1,400 to now 400. But even then, it might take a couple more weeks until they're down at 0. I'm on 100% pelvic rest, no working out, no nothing that would require abdomen work. And so, yeah, that's my story for now. And that's where we're at. So, like I said, I envisioned this video and this whole thing to go completely different, and for it to have a happy ending right now. But all in God's timing. I know it will happen when it's supposed to happen, and this is going to be a huge lesson. But yeah, just know that the feelings that you have are valid. Any feeling you have at any time, any way you feel it, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. You don't have to explain to anyone about it. You don't have to explain your situation. You don't have to explain yourself or your feelings or anything. And don't suppress them. Don't hold them back. Let them out. Just crying felt so good. Telling people felt so good. It's a topic that a lot of people don't talk about, and they should, because it happens to so many people. Not just ectopic, but miscarriage, any type of pregnancy or infant loss. It's more common than you think. So, I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of listen to my story. To be continued.